Welcome back to Crypto Learning Community. Today, I want to show y'all the confirmations that we've been watching, as well as some altcoins that are printing some bearishness as well. I want to talk about market structure. This is actually going to be quite a bit of a follow-up to my previous videos, including my market structure tutorial. And there's going to be live examples on how to apply these rules, right? So we're going to look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to look at Hbar. Okay, so on the daily time frame with Bitcoin, if you haven't watched my previous videos, we were talking about the daily bearish divergence, which will give us a nice pullback. One thing you need to realize with these kind of pullbacks is order flow, right? The market structure. Okay, so this could just lead to a higher low in which we make a new high, right? That could be the case, or this could be enough of a push to which we would do a reversal pattern in which we break this protected low and we eventually come lower. Okay, excuse me. No one knows for sure. Anyone who tells you otherwise is trash. Okay, you need to recognize that they're feeding you false narrative. No one knows these things for sure, unless they're a market maker themselves. So again, this could be a higher low or a new break of structure, breaking this area of lows right here, right? SFPs are not proper breaks. We need to see body closes below this level, and if that's the case, then yes, we're going to be targeting 74k. We do have, if you haven't watched my last videos, liquidity at this area as well as this area here, not only in the form of liquidations but limit order liquidity as well. What does that mean? So that means on high block, liquidation levels are showing those areas, and on bookmap as well, we have limit orders on those areas. Okay, this bookmap isn't showing it, but if you watch my previous videos, I think I have it shown there. Alright, what else did we have? We had 4-hour printing bearish divergences, but honestly very ugly. Hourly time frame as well. Okay, well here's one thing. While we're on the 4-hour, keep in mind we've just finally broken 4-hour market structure with a bearish body close below this level. Alright, so previously we had a body close up here, which makes this protected, but we SFP'd, right? We wicked up here without a body close, and now we're attacking down here. That's bearish. Okay, hourly time frame, as I said in my last videos, we've made higher price action, momentum waves, money flow coming out. Not going to spend any more time on that. If we well, here I'm going to follow with my position order in which I've taken on Bitcoin, and I've talked about this too. This is how you trade these things, right? This is protected because of the break in structure. We took the low. I moved my stop loss to entry. I actually re-added into my position because my entry was all the way up here. I re-added into my position to put it behind this protected low. Well, why is this protected? Because on the 15-minute, we've effectively flipped structure again. So on the lower fractal, this is protected. I'm in a free trade. We're going to target this area down here. Why are we targeting this area? Well, because this is your market structure, right? We could just be putting in a higher low again. Okay? Now what we'd hope for with the trade like this is to come down lower. But simply how we trade this is we're neither bullish nor bearish. On this trade, we are bearish. Until we come to this level, will we be bullish? And we will look for a long. If there's nothing, we will not take it. And we will let our short ride. And even if there is a long, I'm going to take that long. And I'm going to put, I'll trail my stop loss accordingly with market structures. With what's protected and whatnot. So, what that allows for us to do is, let's say we do get in a long, right? We have market structure coming down, etc. Boom, we flip bullish. But all it ends up being is another bearish scenario. In this case, we would be able to maintain our position order, they short. We would have scalped a long, and now our short becomes a swing short in which we start attacking those liquidity levels I've talked about. Alright, that's what you want to look for. So we have liquidity here and here. That is how a trader really trades. Okay, trade with the trend breaks, and we follow that trend. The thing that a lot of people don't tell you is, how is that trend respective to time frame, right? What does that mean? Well, that means what I was just talking about, what I was just referencing. This is a trend, okay? So on the larger fractal, we know that things are bullish until it breaks. Okay, let's call it 4 hours. Well, no, 4 hour had a pulse break. But on the 4 hour, let's say we're in this bearish trend right now. Okay, you need to understand those things. Sorry about that alert. I need to delete that. Let's actually go ahead and start talking about Hbar. Hbar is in a very similar situation, okay? We have on the daily time frame, we've been having bullish closes. What does that mean? Well, we've broken this very important high. We've also had breaks of structure here and a break of structure here. So we can look for this trend to continue bullishly. But man, what are you talking about? Why are you in a short then? Well, because the lower fractal has provided us a short. I've already closed. See, I've already realized that much in P&L. That's a little bit more than 1% of this account. Okay? These are the rules. If you go back and watch my market structure tutorial, these are the rules that I'm applying. Okay? So, we have signs of weakness in this area. Signs for a pullback. We have daily bearish divergence, unconfirmed. Not even a red dot yet. Was it on the 4 hour? 4 hour bearish divergence was confirmed. Ooh, excuse me. And on the hourly, we had bear divs with, well, that's not very pretty bear div, but money flow was coming out as well. Okay, 4 hour, we failed to close a body candle above here, making this not a very strong low, in which we have now taken it. That was that alert you were just hearing. I believe it was on the 5 minute. Yeah, so this is what I was watching today. Was this more internal market structure, right? This is protected on the 5 minute. And what happened? Well, this is also a supply zone, okay? Keep in mind. Supply zone here. And so we have done this more internal market structure like this. And then we broke that market structure. Okay? That tells me we're going to come lower. Potentially. I mean, statistically, that's strong. That's a strong indication. When you see that, that's strong. So on Hbar, or on Bitcoin, hold on. I'd enter my positions and I re-enter to build my position as market structure was revealing itself. So now I have a free trade in which I've made more than 1%, and hopefully this will ride, right? Well, where are we riding it to? I'd like to see what happens in here. Same scenario with Bitcoin, right? We come to here, we take our long, stop loss to even on the short, scalp along. If it fails, that gets stopped out. Meanwhile, our short rides. Okay? Say a major target. I can't really. There we go. A major target would be this low and this low as well. It'd be nice to take this, but I don't think we will. This is still a very bullish trend. This is a scalp short for now. Same logic though, too. With our long, we are hoping it's continuing with the trend in which we're going to take longs, right? We're going to look for that. So we have here our POI. Simply, we have an order block here, Fibonacci levels here, etc., etc. POC the range here at 0.191. Okay, so we're going to use those confluences to try to find a swing long. And this is very powerful to switch between short and long like this at key levels. Because if you trail your stop loss, as I've shown you, what you will end up with quite frequently is your scalps become money makers. Stop loss to break even. And so you'll often profit that 1% to 1.5%, 2%, whatever it is. Then you're in a risk-free trade in which you will then have a runner. Okay? If you do this correctly and you're in the charts and you have your alerts set properly and you know how to follow market structure, you will have a running position. And that is so powerful. I recommend y'all go and watch my market structure tutorial. Because in that one alone, we cover even the most recent price action on Bitcoin. Just this swing position here. And if you're following market structure correctly, you're capturing massive moves. Okay? So I think that covers everything. There's not much else to be said. We do have a demand zone here for Bitcoin on the 8 hour. On the 8 hour. I've included a little extra here. There's something else I saw. But for the most part, 103,750 and up. It's a supply zone. Personally, I'm already in a short, and I'll trade that accordingly. So, I guess I'll just follow up with little profits, right? So order history, right? That's that Hbar, close 50%. Going back to my market structure tutorial, that's how we apply these things, okay? And then we had the trades from earlier. So, I really hope y'all manage y'all's risk accordingly, and that y'all just be safe with this. Don't rush. Just set your alerts and walk away. The best moves are on the higher fractal, which means a lot of the time, just you're gonna be setting alerts and being able to walk away. Okay, so it'll often just range. Okay, even in here, there's a lot of ranging, and that could take a long time. And no one wants to stare at the charts all day, and that'll often cause you to trade poorly. So, I hope you all have a wonderful week of trading. God bless and stay safe.